notification.
I know we're live right now. It's just going to take forever for it to go on. But hey guys, welcome to Pop Culture Critics. Finally, we're getting to this new segment. I've talked about it several times. I don't think I ever mentioned it on the channel, but we're doing something called Trailer Talks. For those of you who don't know what it is, we discuss trailers for movies, games, whatever. We play them on here for you guys to see, and then we discuss our opinions on them, what we think of them. And then there's this guy.
Hello.
So I brought him again. This is Jaron, aka RoboSamurai. You can find him on YouTube.
Yep.
He does all sorts of gameplays and all that wonderful stuff. He did a reaction on the topic that we're doing today, which is Injustice 2 DLC characters. Now, given the fact that they just released some DLC characters, the third pack for the Injustice DLC characters, I thought it was appropriate for us to discuss it. And plus, with Justice League coming out Thursday, which I will be doing a review on, it will be coming out Friday. I promise. It will be coming out Friday. I just figured with all the DC stuff going on this week and last week, might as well just do something, right? So,
in fact, for those of you who play Injustice, there's a multiverse going on right now where you can get Flash gear.
I knew that. I just haven't done it yet. I'm getting there. I will get there, I promise. Maybe. I maybe promise. So, before we start showing the trailers for the stuff for the DLC characters, we're going to do all three of them just so we have a longer live stream going on rather than just the third DLC stack. So, we're going to do the first one. We're not going to really discuss the characters just yet. We're going to let you guys kind of see who the characters are that came out and whatever. If you don't know, I mean, I'm pretty sure most of you know by now who's in whatever, so we're just going to leave that for you guys. But let's talk about the game itself for a bit and kind of the story of the game and pretty much what it's about. So this game takes place after the first game, the first Injustice game, Gods Among Us. That's a good idea. In the first game, you obviously go to an alternate universe where you're teamed up with...
Because it's not DC without the multiverse.
Yeah, it's not DC without the multiverse. So the Earth 1 team up with Earth 2 is what we're just going to call it.
Yeah. To
defeat the big baddies. So Injustice 2 takes place in the exact same era, only it all takes place in Earth 2. Brainiac is going after all the heroes, taking over the worlds, all that wonderful stuff. Superman's still the bad guy. If you haven't played, yeah, Superman's the bad guy. This guy right here is the bad guy.
It was bound to happen eventually.
I didn't want to wear this shirt, but it's the only one that I could grab immediately. He has the smarter shirt.
Yeah.
Freaking Red Hood. But yeah, so Superman's still the bad guy. Batman's the hero still. Brainiac's the bigger baddie. They realign one more time to deal with Brainiac, and it's still made by NetherRealm, the people that made the Mortal Kombat games. So
you know what I realized actually? Injustice 2's story is a better BVS than actual BVS.
Dude, we don't talk about that movie. Well, I mean, I guess we kind of have to a little bit today because with Justice League coming out. I was originally going to do a trailer talks on the Justice League trailer to talk about the movie, which I found out kind of off topic with the whole Injustice thing, but I found out that the villain isn't actually Darkseid, it's Steppenwolf.
Yeah, it's Steppenwolf.
Yeah, I didn't know that. For the longest time, I thought it was Darkseid. I'm like, oh man, no, you ruined him, and then I looked at it longer, and I did my research.
Because they're planning out, like, you know, this is going to be stage 1 of the Justice League, then they're going to fight Caliban, and then they're going to fight Darkseid. So it's a 3-stage process. This is DC's way of starting their cinematic universe. Shaky start.
This is DC's version of saying, hey, we're going to catch up with Marvel because they did a good job. We can too.
We just got to copy their formula without even following it.
Yeah, pretty much. So now that we've discussed the game, we discussed a little bit of the off-topicness of the Injustice stuff, let's jump right into it.
Before we go into that, the biggest kind of thing that led people to got people more interested in Injustice 2 was the expanded roster.
Yes,
the base roster was greatly expanded on.
The base roster in the first game was 24 characters? 20-some characters?
That sounds about right, because I think it was like 10 or 12 heroes and 10 or 12 villains.
And then they had their DLCs.
Then they had their DLC.
And this one, there was 40 main characters, and then they added 9 DLC characters. So
and NetherRealms actually did kind of listen, and they took the feedback of who people wanted in the first Injustice, and they added them into the base game, like Poison Ivy, Black Canary, Firestorm, Blue Beetle.
I'm trying to think of who else. Captain Cold.
Captain Cold, yeah.
Scarecrow. all sorts of people.
Yeah, like majority of the base roster for Injustice 2 were requested from the fans.
Yes, and we got it. And the Injustice game that came out... Dude, when did that game come out? May?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Injustice 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, May.
Man, it's been so long. My God. So, without any ado, we'll get started on watching the trailers, starting with the first DLC pack, then the second, then the third, obviously. And we'll just do some discussions. If you guys have anything you want to discuss on it, put it in the chat. We'll be reading the chat as we go. And we'll be answering, questions. We'll be reading the chat off, listening to you guys as well. Caution for headphone users. It might be loud because I didn't really touch the sound settings for the trailer, so it might be a bit loud for you guys. You have been warned. Let's get into it. So that's number one. That's trailer number one. Obviously, Starfire, Sub-Zero, Red Hood were introduced. A lot of people were they were very happy, and from what I've heard, they were also a bit upset with the fighter pack, at least the first one, because they added Red Hood, which is something that a lot of people have been wanting.
See, a lot of kind of the disappointment came from Red Hood. Like, they were happy that he was in the game, but Ed Boon knew he was a very highly requested character. Same with Starfire. People have been asking for those two since the first game, so yeah. I can understand the disappointment where it's like, you knew, but you slated them for DLC.
Yeah, well, that wasn't where I was going, but yes, definitely. It was with the Sub-Zero, because in the first game, Scorpion was one of the characters as a DLC, and it's because that it's made by NetherRealms. It's made by the same people that did Mortal Kombat, they made Injustice. So it makes sense that they would add at least one Mortal Kombat character into the game. When I saw this, I actually felt Sub-Zero was a rather appropriate choice for this, because they had Scorpion, which means obviously Sub-Zero's his kind of counterpart, and they are like the two main characters of Mortal Kombat.
Right.
You can go around anywhere and ask, hey, name two characters from Mortal Kombat, and
Scorpion, Sub-Zero.
Scorpion and Sub-Zero would probably be the first ones to come out of people's mouths. So I enjoyed how they had at least Sub-Zero in it and all that.
And when I first saw this, I was fine, and I'll get more in my opinions about the Mortal Kombat characters when we talk about Fighter Pack 2. But I was fine with Sub-Zero at first. Because, NetherRealms made the game, so it kind of makes sense. Mm-hmm. When Scorpion was in Injustice 1, I wasn't a huge fan. Because I'm just like, oh, where are the DC characters? Okay, this is kind of weird. But, I guess, NetherRealms, sure.
Yeah, it makes sense because, again,
I wasn't a fan of it, but I wasn't going to rip them out on it.
Yeah, and like I said, I was completely fine with it because, again, NetherRealms made the game, and Scorpion was in the first one. Mm-hmm. He was a DLC in the first game, so it only made sense that they add at least one Mortal Kombat into the second game. It's kind of like when you're playing Mortal Kombat X, you have like Jason and the Alien and Predator and people that you wouldn't actually see in the game itself. They add those in because they're kind of in contribution to the game itself. So in a way, it's similar to this, where they added something not necessarily a part of the game, but because it's NetherRealms who created it, they added Sub-Zero
Yeah.
to it. So I was fine with Sub-Zero, and I mean, obviously, this fighter pack's been out for a while. I love playing as Sub-Zero. He loves playing as Red Hood. Red Hood is
my boy.
Red Hood is his boy.
And I mean, I didn't.
Hi, Kitsune Gaming again.
Hi, Kit.
Welcome back.
I didn't give Sub-Zero too much crap because I mean I was too overhyped with. I got my Outlaws. I got
you
Red
got
Hood and the Outlaws. We got Red Hood and Starfire, which originally those were the original Outlaws.
Yeah.
So
I will say
was happy.
I will say this. I was thrilled to see Starfire in the game, but after playing her, I wasn't too thrilled with her play style.
Yeah.
She seemed very slow.
Not even that. She also felt very Firestorm-like.
Yeah.
Like,
imagine
if you
female
mastered,
Firestorm.
Yeah, if you mastered Firestorm, you could pick up Starfire pretty easily.
If you took the time to master Firestorm, it'd take you maybe a fourth of the time to master Starfire.
And you see, I never mastered Firestorms, and actually, I just recently got her to 20. Like, just last week, I got her to 20.
I need to get a bunch of my people to level 20. But that's aside the point.
Yeah.
So, Fighter Pack 1, I mean, we're probably going to do a grading scale on this because obviously we're critics. So, or I'm a critic. He's just here. So, I'm still going to do a grading scale for, obviously, the game and such. Or not the game itself, but for Fighter Pack 1. I like Red Hood. I love his gameplay and everything. I love Sub-Zero and his gameplay. I like the trailer as a whole. It looks very crisp and clean. It doesn't really go into any sort of like tangents or whatever. It's just clear focus on, hey, here's our characters. And there isn't any dialogue actually in it. So
because they didn't bring any really heavy hard hitters for this one.
Yeah, and so I thought it was kind of cool because it also left that mystery of who the voice acting would be.
They needed to get Jensen Ackles for
Jensen Ackles.
Awesome. Yeah.
I will say that some of the design choices for, especially Starfire and Sub-Zero, I felt were a bit off. Starfire specifically because, like, I like the burning hair that she had. I just felt that it was probably a bit too long of hair.
I mean, she's always kind of had long hair, though.
Well, yeah, but... And B, I mean... To an extent, I mean, she was... Yes. Kitsune Gaming, says Jensen Ackles is the bomb. He is the bomb.
He is.
He is awesome. He did the voice of Red Hood in Under the Hood. Great movie. We did a review on that movie, actually.
I think that was the first time I came on.
Yeah, that was the first time you came on. But I felt that Starfire was very over-sexualized in this game with her design choice and her clothing style.
Have you seen her in the 80s?
Yes, I've seen her in the 80s. I get that. But this is a rated T game.
Right, and I get that
and
too.
They pushed the limits with a lot of their characters, specifically Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn, with their design choices. And so it seems like with Starfire, they really didn't leave much for the imagination, and they like kind of just took that one step up above it.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think it's that much of a big deal, mainly because comics have always kind of tended to sexualize their female characters.
Yeah.
So I guess that's kind of what they're going for here as well. So
yeah. So that's for Starfire. For Sub-Zero, I really didn't. I understood what they were doing with Sub-Zero's design choice, but I still didn't like it because Sub-Zero's design choice, obviously, he had the hood and he had like a cape. Which,
see, I liked the hood. I did not like the cape. The cape
really?
felt,
I kind of like the other way around. I didn't mind the cape so much because it
just feels out of place.
I like the hood and cape like design for any other character for real, but for Sub-Zero, knowing that he's, you know, in the other games he's never worn a hood or a cape, and he's in this freaking suit of armor getting ready to go into tournaments. Mm-hmm. There's no way that he would dress up like that. And I mean, that kind of goes back with the whole Scorpion thing in the first game. He had like a freaking hood and whatever. You wouldn't see Scorpion in a hood in the first game.
Well, actually, when you they kept the hood idea after Injustice 1, because when Mortal Kombat, you got the hood.
Well, yeah, but that was a skin that you could get.
True, but even his base characters, Scorpion in Mortal Kombat X, he had a hood. they
Oh, that's right.
they designed the hood in Injustice. Then they're like, wow, this looks really cool. Let's keep it.
Well, yeah, I don't remember that.
And honestly, I think that was a good idea. Scorpion does look good with a hood on.
Sub-Zero, they probably shouldn't have done that. They probably should have at least left him a little bit more towards his like base natural look.
Yeah.
So,
And I mean, you can make him look like that with the gear, but you gotta unlock all that, and that's a lot of grinding and stuff. Which
that's not bad though.
It's not bad, no.
No.
But it's just for people who want the original look for Sub-Zero, but don't want to put all that time in.
Yeah. So all in all, for this trailer as a whole, the sound choice, we can't hear it. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. We can't actually hear the sound, but you guys can, obviously. Yeah. So, but we've seen the trailer. So sound-wise, it fits well. The setting of it all looks very nice. It looks very like underground, like the others.
I wish we had that little arena area as like a map.
That would be cool.
As a stage.
Having the like underground wasteland as a stage.
I mean, we might get it as a free patch because they did the same thing in MKX. Because remember they added the what was that? The Nether Roads or something.
Oh yeah.
The bridge that they had in MK9.
Yeah, I remember that.
So we might get it eventually, but
yeah, hopefully. So with that, the characters, some of the designs I personally didn't like some of the designs, but they were still good. Red Hood, I'm gonna beat up on Red Hood just a little bit here. I know you like it. I don't really like his helmet that much in this game. His eye slits seem way too small.
Yeah, no, I kind of have the same issue.
Like, Red Hood is a badass, and he's awesome in the game. But his helmet, his eye holes they just seem way too out of place on his helmet. Like, yeah. That's my only issue with it.
I do like kind of the slim design on it, but just the eyepieces, I think is the only issue.
Yeah, that's my only nitpick on that is just his.
And luckily, the gear system does help with that. Like he has some pretty badass helmets.
He's got a helmet that I use. It's from it's kind of like the Joker original Red Hood.
Oh yeah.
Where it's just
as my friend says, the red bucket.
The red bucket. It's just a clear. If you play Halo, you'll kind of understand this because they use it in Halo too. It's just completely blank. And
the Lost Days helmet. Okay, that's what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I love that helmet. It looks so cool. I've just always been a fan of that kind of a helmet on anyone
because it gives me 3 meter if I get the first hit.
I'm about to get the first hit on this live stream right now. But he's got some really cool helmets also in the game. He's got like the hood with the helmet and all that, and that looks really cool. Mm-hmm. I like that.
The only gear choices I don't like are like when it removes this jacket. I'm a huge fan of his other jacket.
I like some of the stuff with that. His jacket. Yeah, it makes him look more like military. Like
yeah, that's true.
It makes him look kind of like Raiden.
I was actually gonna say Arkham Knight.
Oh yeah, Arkham Knight definitely.
But I can see it being Raiden.
Not Raiden. Yeah, Raiden. My bad. Not Raiden. Mortal Kombat Raiden.
Raiden from Metal Gear.
Metal Gear. Yeah, it's like that kind of like robotic badass look. So yeah. Overall, I give this trailer an A-. Yeah. It's a very good trailer. There's still,
it was a great way to kick off the DLC.
Oh, without a doubt. So that's it for the first trailer. Now we're going to get on to the second trailer, which we're going to probably have a few more nitpicks about. Yep. So, enjoy.
Thanks for the light down. This just got a whole lot more interesting.
So that's it for the second trailer. Obviously, they brought another Mortal Kombat character into this. They brought Raiden. They brought Black Manta. Yes. And they brought in Hellboy.
My boy.
My man. we're going to, again, they have the same setting, and obviously you can tell that because Fighter Pack 2, they brought Fighter Pack 1 characters in, but it looks like they were beaten up.
Yeah.
Because it's like old Fighter Pack getting their butt kicked to introduce the new badass kind of roster. So
and honestly, that's a good way that they do that with these.
Oh yeah, I love that. And you can see that, you'll see that in the third one too. We're going to start off with a huge nitpick of Raiden.
Why? Like, why?
I agree with that. I don't like how Raiden was added to this game because they already had Sub-Zero in this game, which was completely fine. Having the one Mortal Kombat character was fine. I hated how they added 2 Mortal Kombat characters to a DLC game. Or DC game. As a DLC to a DC.
Right. And also, with that being said, what also kind of bothered me with Raiden's inclusion is we have 2 guest characters for Fighter Pack 2. Because Hellboy is Dark Horse. He's a guest.
We'll get to that.
And we'll get to that, but that was one of my big issues, is that in the first pack we had 2 DC characters and 1 guest. This time we have 1 DC and 2 guests.
Yeah. And it's starting to feel like it's going back to that regular Mortal Kombat X where they just have a bunch of random people that are thrown in. But
and I have some thoughts on that, but I'll talk about that after.
We'll get to that. The worst part about Raiden, aside from the fact that he's a Mortal Kombat character added to a DC game that they've already done, is the fact that they have these things called premiere skins, which you can change the look of the person to a whole different character. So,
like
Flash,
at launch, we had Reverse Flash.
Yeah,
Power
at launch
Girl,
we had Power Girl,
Stewart.
Jon Stewart, Reverse Flash. Yeah, and then eventually we got Bizarro for Superman. We got Vixen for Cheetah, which was a horrible idea, but we're not going to get into that.
Talk for another day.
Definitely talk for another day. In this one, we have Black Lightning. And he seems like a very unknown character to a lot of people, but he's getting his own CW show now soon.
He's actually getting a new comic series starting up.
Oh, really?
He just got his first issue I think last week.
Oh.
Yeah.
That too.
So he's gaining more popularity.
Yeah. So I'm completely fine with Black Lightning. However, I wish that they would have chose Black Lightning as a character, like a character, and then have Raiden as the premiere skin.
Right, because then we could swap the gear out for Black Lightning. And also, Static Shock fans could be happy because that would open for potential for a Static Shock premiere skin.
Yes.
Because Black Lightning is actually mentor of Static
That makes
Shock.
sense. That actually makes a lot of sense. I didn't freaking put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not something a lot of people... No, it's okay. It's actually a recent thing, I think, because that started with like Young Justice.
But...
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. So, I wish that Raiden was a premiere skin rather than being a main character because they wasted a slot. I feel that they wasted a slot for a DC character by doing that, and then they tried to redeem themselves by putting Black Lightning as a premiere skin when they should have done it the other way around, because even though you add a character who isn't very well known, like Black Lightning, with all the new stuff that's coming out soon for him, he will get to be well known.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean... Again, when we said it also opens up for Static Shock.
And people know Static Shock.
Yeah, people know Static Shock. So if they see Black Lightning, they'll be like, oh, maybe they'll put Static Shock on him too. Because
and if they had, announced... Because the reasoning for Raiden's inclusion was really dumb on NetherRealms. They said that it was because of the 25th anniversary of Mortal Kombat. That was the reason why he made it into that slot.
Well, okay, well then with that said, here's what they should have done. They should have put Black Lightning in DLC 1. And then put Sub-Zero in the second pack to celebrate that.
Well, no, this was I was gonna say. I was gonna say you introduce Black Lightning in DLC 2, and announce this is you're gonna be able to get a Static Shock premiere skin. That way, people know. Oh, okay, this is associated with Static Shock. I might actually try him. Yeah. Then later down the line, announce it's the 25th anniversary of Mortal Kombat. We're gonna give you a free Raiden skin, premiere skin, to celebrate.
That would work too.
And that's how I would have done it. But I don't work at NetherRealms. I wish I did.
Well, then but you're still talking about keeping Fighter Pack 1 the way it was. With Sub-Zero. Okay. I had to make sure we were clear on that.
Yeah, no.
So that's the whole spiel with Raiden. Now we'll talk about Black Manta. Excellent choice. Yeah. I love Black Manta.
I mean, we need more Aquaman villains.
Yes, definitely. Especially with the new Justice League coming out again. Mm-hmm. And then Jason Momoa's Aquaman coming out next year.
That's why I'm seeing that movie.
Black Manta's not going to be in it.
No, Jason Momoa.
You're gay. Nothing wrong with gay people. You do you. I have nothing towards it.
Hey, Jason Momoa's a badass, okay?
Jason Momoa is a badass. But yeah, Black Manta, I have nothing wrong with him. He's freaking awesome. And you guys might know this. You might know this. Because I just told you this the other day. There's a theory going around where, because this is Earth 2, that Black Manta in this game is actually Aqualad.
Did that get debunked? I don't know if that...
I don't think it did. It probably got even more
confirmed?
fire because of the... when you play the multiverse...
Yeah, I heard about that too.
When you play the multiverse, you get to do a simulator, and you play as certain characters, then they get like special endings. And with Black Manta, he's going to visit the grave of his father, and we all know that if you watched Young Justice, which technically isn't canon, but meh.
I mean, so the point...
Aqualad's dad was the original Black Manta.
Yeah.
In that, and then Aqualad became Black Manta.
And Calderon, which is the Aqualad, is still the son of Black Manta.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why there's a lot of people saying that...
no, actually, I'm
Black
thinking
Manta
back
is
to
Aqualad.
the live stream,
Aqualad.
and unfortunately, the Other Realms did deconfirm that, and they
Oh,
said
they did?
that because they heard about the theory, and they're like, yeah, no, this is just this is the Black Manta from Earth 1 versus Black Manta from Earth 2 during that stage transition. Like in Atlantis, you know, where in the stage transition, Black Manta hits you down.
Mm-hmm.
They said, yeah, that's just a different multiverse Black Manta. They pulled it out of their ass and they said it was canon, but...
So wait, which Aquaman, which Black Man are you playing as then?
You're playing as Earth 1, Earth 2, I don't know. They pulled it out of their ass like as a desperate resort.
You see, because here's why I think that's wrong. Mm-hmm. Even though they debunked it, here's why it's wrong. Because I played Injustice 2 yesterday, or 2 days ago, something like that. And I played that world as Black Manta, and I did that stage transition. Mm-hmm. And the Black Manta that was hitting you down when you run into him had the exact same gear that I was wearing. Helmet and everything. So that, and then, you obviously see your character kind of like swoop back into the position like with every transition. But with this one, it seems like it makes more sense because that could easily be you. I mean, you got a fucking jetpack that flies you around. You could easily get to that point. If you were Black Manta, you could easily get back to that point, do your thing, and then pop back up. So that's why I think their logic is flawed.
Their logic is flawed because they pulled it out of their ass on a live stream last minute.
Yeah.
So
they can debunk it all they want, but they're wrong. Yeah. They're wrong. So that's pretty much it with Black Manta. I still loved him as a character. He was an excellent choice for the character in this game.
Yeah, I love him too. I need to dedicate more time to him. I haven't put a lot of time on him.
He's fun to play.
I know.
He is so much fun to play.
I want to figure out that jetpack.
That jetpack is so difficult though.
But once you master it, like it's over. It's done.
Oh, it's so much fun. So now we got him out of the way. Let's talk about the third character that was introduced, Hellboy.
This was a perfect inclusion.
How so?
Well, he has comic book origins, and as a guest character for a comic book fighting game, makes sense.
Okay, I can agree with that. Hellboy just came out today, by the way, for the early access people. So like he just came out as a character. I have yet to play him or anything. Like I literally downloaded him about an hour ago because it's 4:30 right now our time. So I downloaded it 30 minutes before the live stream. I have not had time to play him or anything. I came home from work. I sat down. I downloaded him. He came over. I turned it off and we set everything up for this. So I have no idea what he's like or anything. Honestly, I'm going to say this. I don't know much about Hellboy. I haven't seen the movie. I haven't read much of the comics, so I personally don't know much about Hellboy. So I'm going to say this. My opinion really doesn't matter in this case, especially since I don't know much about him. I haven't played him yet, so I can't really say much about it.
He plays similar to kind of like Doomsday from Injustice 1. He's got a lot of command grabs. He's just a little faster.
Does he play like Atrocitus?
No.
Really?
No. He's very command grab heavy.
Okay. So, lovely. I can't say anything about him because it really won't matter what my opinion is because I don't know much about Hellboy to do it.
Huge Hellboy fan, and I read the comics. I've seen all the movies, the animated movies as well, and he is my favorite comic book character. So I was very happy to see him announced, and I was very surprised too because I remember I woke up and I see all these things from YouTube. I'm like, what's going on? I go to the thing and I see Hellboy. I'm like, no way. Click on it, and I was hyped. I was disappointed with Raiden, but then I was super excited to see Hellboy.
Same. When I saw the trailer, I was super disappointed in Raiden, especially by the look. You guys saw the trailer. What the fuck is up with that mask? Young Years, it's your live stream. Y'all should know this by now. I was very disappointed with the mask and Raiden, and we already roasted Raiden. We're not gonna go backwards, but I was very disappointed with him. And then when I saw Black Manta, I got super excited. Then when I saw Hellboy, me personally, I got a little confused because let's ask this question, because obviously they've introduced 2 new Mortal Kombat characters. So given the fact that Hellboy has a origin of comic book, what makes him any better to add as a character compared to what just came out? We're not going to say anything yet, but if you guys have seen the trailer already, you know what I'm talking about. So what do you think the difference would be? Because
come back to me on that. Let's watch the 3rd one, and then
Okay.
I'll go in more detail on that.
okay, well,
Because I do have an answer. I want to be able to fully talk about it first.
okay, so overall for this trailer though, I like how they defeated the first fighter packs in order to introduce second packs. The character roster was
cinematography, cinematics.
Yeah, cinematics
was perfect. Like
the character choices that they had, for me personally, they could have been better. I loved Black Manta. I hated the fact that they added Raiden, and my opinion on Hellboy, again, since I haven't played them, really doesn't matter. But I mean, I kind of wish that they did choose another DC character.
yeah,
I really do wish that they chose another DC character rather than adding him, because now at this point it seems like Mortal Kombat, where here's a bunch of the regular Mortal Kombat characters, and then we're going to throw in all these random characters.
and I'll get to that too because I have some words on that as well.
And even though he's a comic book character, he doesn't really have any contribution to DC. To be honest, it would have been better if they had done Spawn. Like, a lot of people were saying they should have done Spawn, and they probably should have, because he's got more of a DC background than Hellboy. Right?
I think so. I mean, when you think about it, all comic book characters have something to do with Batman, because Batman crossovers with everyone.
Okay, well, Batman is on some bullshit. Batman, no. I mean, alternatively, Plan C, they should have just done Rorschach, like everybody was discussing, because he's obviously a DC character.
No, you want to hear some real BS? I was before Hellboy actually came out. I actually did his multiverse where they let you try him. I found a Joker using Rorschach test, and he had a top hat. Well, not a top hat, but a fedora. So.
I'm not gonna get up in this stream. I got up in the last stream too many times because of that bullshit of episode 2 and 1. I'm not gonna do it this time. So my hair is everywhere. I apologize, guys. So overall, I think I would give this one a B, because they added Black Man, which was a very good choice for character because of DC. Raiden was an awful choice to add. I don't care what their reasoning was. They should have done something better for it. And then Hellboy, again, I don't know too much about it. I wish they would have done just another DC character for a DC game. So I give it a B.
See, it's going to be weird because I'm actually giving it a C+.
Oh?
Because my disappointment in this is the fact you had two guest characters. I like Black Manta.
Yeah.
I like Hellboy, but I don't like Raiden. And I'm fine with one guest character in a fighter pack. Like, I like the formula of 2 DC characters, 1 guest.
Mm-hmm.
But when it gets to 2 guests and 1 DC, that's where I kind of am like, okay, we need to step back here.
And if you... I might change mine to C+, because when you think about it, now we've got the formula of Mortal Kombat, like I was mentioning earlier, where it's all Mortal Kombat characters and a bunch of guests. Mm-hmm. Now, at this point, we're reaching that, because now we have 3 guest characters that have nothing to do with DC, mm-hmm. in a Mortal Kombat, or not Mortal Kombat,
Injustice.
in a DC game. So yeah, I think I'm changing mine to C+. That because Fighter Pack 2, they just kind of bleh.
Yeah.
They were just kind of like, we need something. How about these characters? All right, boom, send. And then some people got disappointed. A lot of people got disappointed. Some people decided, hey, Raiden, that's awesome. And then their houses got burned on fire.
I can guarantee you, and this is no insult to anyone, but I can guarantee you, the people who defend Raiden and Sub-Zero, they're Mortal Kombat fanboys.
Chris! If you're watching this...
Okay.
I hope he's watching this. I know you're not, but we have a buddy.
that's
We have a buddy who is a giant Mortal Kombat fan, and so he's one of those characters that stands up for him. I stand up for Sub-Zero. I will say that. I will stand up for Sub-Zero for this game.
See, for me,
I will not
Sub-Zero,
stand up for-
he's on that line. He's on that line, and I'm like, okay, I can accept you. But Rain, he crossed that line. I'm like, no, get out of here.
Well, here's the reason why I accept. Again, here's the reason why I accept having Sub-Zero in the game, and that's because of the formula they followed in the first game,
Right.
which was they had Scorpion, which was their introduction, being like, hey, here's our little crossover, because especially since they've done DC versus Mortal Kombat.
We didn't talk about that.
They've done DC versus Mortal Kombat. And so they had to have that little crossover, and they had to have Scorpion in because, I mean, again, it's made by the same people. So
And
that
I
makes
get
sense.
that. Yeah.
And so with Sub-Zero added, it's another super famous character in Mortal Kombat. Obviously, when I was getting the game, I knew that they were going to add somebody. I was hoping Sub-Zero would be it. So seeing him be in it, I wasn't mad at all. The fact that I saw Raid pop up in this game also made me super upset and super
And the
disappointed.
people that are... Like, I read
I
some
don't
of the
even play
comments.
him. He came out not that long ago. I haven't even touched him. I don't want to touch him.
I touched him once. I didn't like him. I put a video up on that. Really? Really?
I'm sorry. It's your live stream. It was right there. I couldn't resist.
Anyway.
I couldn't resist. I'm so sorry, guys.
Dirty jokes aside.
Dirty jokes aside. Trying to stay professional.
This is the thing.
I couldn't
with,
resist on that. Part.
Raiden, like in Raiden Sub-Zero, it's like the people who are defending him. It's like, go play Mortal Kombat. You'll probably get a better experience playing Raiden. Playing Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Mainly because of the variation system.
Yeah.
And my friend actually put it in a really good way. With the inclusion of Mortal Kombat characters in Injustice, it's like playing the PG version of them.
Yeah, pretty much. Like with the characters in the Mortal Kombat characters added in, they tried to combine all the variations into one. So with like Sub-Zero, they had like all three different variations where he creates the clones, and then he creates the hammer, and then he does like all sorts of other shenanigans.
Yeah.
And they try to do the same thing with Raiden. Or so I'm guessing. I haven't played him yet because I don't want to worry about that right now.
I feel it's broken.
Yeah. Kitsune Gaming, I don't like him either. I've played him like once. Yeah, I mean, see? Case in point. Nobody likes Raiden in this game. Except for our buddy, who we don't talk about because he's non-existent right now.
And the Mortal Kombat fanboys.
Yeah. We can roast on our buddy all we want. He's not here. And even if he was sitting right here, we'd still roast on him. So, we went a little long on this second trailer because we got into the topic, which is exactly what Trailer Talks is about. It's just us talking about the stuff and all that. So we just got done with the second one. If you're just now joining us, we've seen the first trailer, we've seen the second trailer, we've done our stuff. So we're getting ready to move on to the third trailer that came out last week.
Yes.
Came out last week. It's the final three characters. More than likely the final three characters because they said there was only going to be 9 DLCs. So
yeah.
This is the last three.
There's a rumor going around that they might do a secret Fighter Pack 4, but that's not confirmed.
Dear NetherRealms, please make it so. Because I paid good money for this game. Please make it so. So, here's trailer number 3.
Now that looks like fun. Mind if we play?
Dibs on the magic, lady. We fight as a team, Mikey. Fine. Coming through, dude.
I'm guessing that you guys can probably hear my computer going AWOL with the fan. So that was trailer number 3. I have mixed emotions on this, but it was much better than the second one. So let's start off with the beginning of it, which was obviously the Raiden and Black Manta getting defeated, and then the cigarette. A lot of people, I know this because a lot of people, when they saw the cigarette, they thought it was going to be a teaser for Rorschach being introduced. What I realized is you don't see Hellboy at all, except for that cigarette.
No,
so,
I know. And here's the thing. People were speculating when Fighter Pack 2 came out that because Hellboy was smoking a cigarette, that was a little tease towards Constantine. Because people were saying, oh, in the movies, Hellboy smokes a cigar. True. But in the comics, he smokes cigarettes.
Yeah. So when a lot of people were like, or yeah, no, not Rorschach, Constantine, or Rorschach. I mean, either or. But yeah, with this trailer, they show the cigarette because obviously Hellboy is gone. He's not anywhere except for that cigarette. So that's why that was there. So
Enchantress probably banished him.
Like, yeah, we'll get to her. So I like the exploding building and all that, and I like the Atom coming out of the building. That was really cool, and the way he was like jumping around and they grew.
And it seems with more of these fighter packs, they get more cinematic, which is awesome.
They do, yeah. They get a lot more cinematic. So with that said, let's start talking about the Atom as a character. His gameplay trailer came out not that long ago. I wish I would have put this thing up on here. I wish I would have at least downloaded it so we could watch that because it's relatively new. I am excited to play as the Atom because he looks so spammy and so trolly. He looks so much fun. Here's my one complaint on him. His helmet and his big ass grape head. It's so round.
Oh, hold on, Cole. This is the Asian Atom. This isn't
what?
This isn't Ray Palmer.
What?
Yeah, this is the other Atom. I don't remember his name. This is the Asian Atom.
I didn't know there was more than one Atom.
Yeah, there's more than one. Your mind is blown right now.
My mind is so blown right now. Oh
That's why it's so round.
Try to avoid stereotypes here, people. Wow. Well, I processed that. Oh my god. Alright. So yeah. I don't care which Atom it is. His head is still round. I do like the color scheme for the Atom though, because it kind of does match Kitsune Gaming. I only knew Ray. You're not alone. Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't know that either until another one's like announced. Like, this is him. I'm like, oh, there's another Atom. Okay.
Was he in the comics or anything? Or was he
I think so. I think he's a comic character.
Okay.
Which is why none of us have probably heard him, because I know Atom from the animated show, which was also Ray Palmer.
I know Atom from that, and I also know him from Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Played by Brandon Roush.
Who also
Original
Superman at the
Superman.
time.
Dear Brandon, you did much better now than you did back then. You've matured and you've grown, and we appreciate you. So yeah, I mean, I like the color scheme because again, it fits that color scheme of the Atom in Legends of Tomorrow and all that. And I like it. And even his original colors, I like that too. And I love everything about the Atom. He looks like he's gonna be so much fun to play.
Yeah, he does look fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Let's talk about Enchantress real quick. Enchantress. I saw it coming when they had the silhouettes. They had the silhouettes introduced as a tease for people.
Yeah, once Spider Pack 1 came out, we knew that was going to be Enchantress. I mean,
you could see kind of like the little moon thing.
And people were being stupid. Like, ooh, it's probably going to be Kitana.
people are idiots. I'm
But
sorry,
then,
people,
and then Ed Boon came. It's like, yeah, no,
y'all are wrong.
yeah, no, it's Kitana.
Yeah.
We're not doing another Mortal
Yeah,
Kombat.
we're not doing that. I like Enchantress's look very much in this. I
do
was
too.
not expecting the hood, but when I saw the hood, I was like, oh, that's actually, I
Yeah.
like it because it gives her more of a modern, present day Enchantress look.
People
Not like
are
a street look.
Yeah, people are kind of saying that she might play pretty similarly to Ermac,
I could definitely see that.
which would work. I would be fine with
I
that.
could definitely see that. Here's my one complaint on her, and that's her eyes. It's super minor, but her eyes are the exact same color and glow as Starfire's. They didn't do a damn thing about changing the eyes. Like, they match the exact same eyes. So,
Because, yeah, you see, Starfire's is more like a neon green, and Enchantress should be like a mystic, kind of darker.
a much darker green.
Yeah.
But they chose the exact same color green. And I think that might be just because they had the color palette and they just wanted to make it super easy.
Maybe.
That might be it. But I like her look because it's more modern day. And, oh, another thing is her freaking blast that she was shooting at Rey. That also was another Starfire thing.
But, to be fair, this is only cinematic.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
they're probably going to change some things.
Yeah, but I mean, this is trailer talks. It's a trailer.
Right.
So, I hope she doesn't play like Starfire. I really hope not. She looks like she'll play.
That would be really disappointing,
Yeah,
honestly. If
I hope she plays like Ermac. I'm looking forward to her gameplay trailer. Let's talk about the giant surprise that no one was expecting. Not a single person was expecting this. He has a React trailer on his channel of it. I'm guessing it was like that was your first time seeing it.
Yeah, I watched it live when it was on TV.
Okay. Yeah, so the Ninja Turtles. No one was expecting
Like,
that
no
outcome.
one.
They have like the little silhouettes and whatever, and there were rumors going on for days about who that could be. No one thought it would be the Turtles. I did not know they were DC, actually.
They're not DC. They're IDW.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, I didn't know that they were more tied to the DC than the Marvel. Because, hear me out on this. There's a theory. It's a very good theory. And it's a theory that I started believing until I realized this when I talked to him about it. Is that the same goo that made Daredevil blind is the same stuff that gave the Turtles their mutantness.
Oh, that's an old theory. I've heard that one too.
Yeah, a lot of people have heard that theory. So that, knowing that theory, that's why I was so confused when I saw them. I'm like, that makes no sense. They're part of Marvel, whatever. And then he told me that, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Because then he also said because they have the Batman TMNT thing, and I'm like,
Batman
you know what?
crosses over with everyone.
I'm like, you know what? No, I'm disregarding that whole comment because he's crossed over with everyone. He's crossed over with himself. He's had so many crossovers. There's freaking Flashpoint. It's not even a crossover. It's just his dad being Batman. There's too many Batmans.
Yeah.
There's too many Batmans.
Batman just needs to stop and calm down.
Batman is everyone.
Yeah.
Apparently. According to DC, Batman is everyone.
Yeah.
So,
Especially now with like the Batman medal. It's, with the rebirth.
Yo.
He's literally becoming everyone.
Yo, that actually look really cool. The artwork
Yeah.
for that looks freaking
You should
badass.
see the Joker.
I have seen the Joker.
Yeah.
Joker's, as you can tell by my tattoo, Joker. I love Joker. Joker is my all-time favorite villain. So when I saw that, I was like, oh. Way off topic. TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. No one was expecting.
I mean, Ed Boon was right. It was something no one was going to expect. And it was
No
going to surprise
one
everyone.
was expecting.
And he
It
was right.
Very surprising. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about him. From what it looks like, is that you can play as all 4 different types of turtles. Their combos are going to be the same, I'm guessing, but their specials are going to be different. Like their special attacks are going to be different.
This is what I think is going to happen. I think a turtle switch is going to happen with the character power. And you do a startup, and then you just, to continue the combo, you pull them back in and continue the combo. Because I heard that Donatello is actually going to be a startup character. He's going to be his combos are going to be heavy startup. Then you switch out to like Raphael or Leonardo, continue that combo, switch to Mikey for more rush down. That's what I heard. And that's what I think is going to happen. And that opens up for some really interesting gameplay mechanics.
Yo, my mind is blown again. My mind is more blown right. is almost as blown as the Ray Palmer thing. Wow. That'll be fun. That'll be actually pretty fun.
Imagine getting caught in one of those combos and trying to get out.
It'll be just like the Naruto game where you're playing as Naruto and you like just has like the little multiple people coming at you.
Yeah.
Here's why I actually don't like the TMNT as a guest in this. Is because yes, they kept the original thing of 2 DC, 1 guest, but by this time, there's too many guest characters now. They've got Sub-Zero, they've got Hellboy, and they've got Raiden, and now they have TMNT, which, even though it's 1 character, technically it's 4.
Right, and...
So that's like, if you want to be technical about it, that's like math. 7... Yeah, it's like 7 more people added. Which is the equivalent of the Mortal Kombat roster at that rate, because they had like... They had like 8 special characters.
Right. So, this is my thing with guest characters when it comes to fighting games, because guest characters are going to happen.
Yes.
Like, that's the norm. And my thing is, as long as they make sense for the type of game they're in. For instance, Injustice. It's a DC comic book fighting game. So it makes sense to add comic book guest characters. Which is why I'm more upset at the inclusion of Mortal Kombat characters.
Except for Sub-Zero, which because
I'm like on the line with Sub-Zero. I'm willing to give that a pass.
That line needs to go down, dude. Because I mean, you've played the first game. You already should just expect it.
And I'm just like, I'm fine. It's fine. But
I'm fine.
Raiden's fine. No. Raiden
no.
needs to go. Hellboy and Ninja Turtles, I feel make a lot of sense because a lot of people don't know, but the Ninja Turtles actually started off as an indie 80s comic. And they were brutal and violent, and the only reason they're goofy in the cartoons
is because they need to tone down.
Because they need to tone it down. No one can take it seriously.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm fine with the Turtles, because it's like, okay, they have comic origins.
Yeah.
I'm cool.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, they have comic origin and such, but again, thinking back to the first game especially, they only had 1 guest character that was non-DC, and that was Scorpion. Now, with Injustice 2, they're adding, technically, 7 guest characters that aren't DC at all. And so that just seems like way too many from going from the first game with only 1 to this game going to 7, while Mortal Kombat X was in between those, having 8 guest characters. Because now at this point, even though they have that giant original roster of 40, and then they have, math in head, 5? Yeah, 5 new DC characters. That's 45 DC characters, but then you still gotta make that up for 7 guest characters.
Right.
In technicality. Technically it's 4, but because there's 4 turtles, it's gonna be 7. Yes, math.
And I get that too. Like, I get we want more DC characters, and we should. We do deserve more DC characters in the DC fighting game. Yeah. And I respect what they do with the guest characters, but like at the same time,
at this point, it's Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, and I actually wanted to talk about that with their guest characters because they had Leatherface, Jason, Alien, Predator,
and Bo Ray
Cho, Triborg.
Well, okay, Triborg is actually part of MK.
Right, but he was DLC.
Yeah, but he was a part of the MK.
Yeah,
universe.
I know, and so is Bo Ray Cho.
Oh. I should have known that. Why didn't I know that? Then they had Tanya and the Forum dude.
Goro.
Okay, so 4 of
we
them.
can't count Goro. He was pre-order. He's like Darkseid.
You can count him because if you get the game now, like Mortal Kombat XL,
that's true. You have to pay for him.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Okay, yeah, fair point.
Yeah, you can pay for
so
him.
So yeah, Goro. Yeah. Okay.
So that's 8. So that's still.
So if we
8.
get the guest characters out, we have Bo Ray Cho, Tanya,
Goro, and Triborg.
Tremor 2.
Oh shit, Tremor.
So that's 4 MK characters.
So that's 9 actually.
That's 9 and then with their guests, they had
Alien, Predator, Leatherface, Jason.
So yeah, that's 4 each. Anyway, I was
because we're not counting Goro because pre-order, but
I said Goro.
Yeah, so that's 5 characters though in the original. Because you got Tanya, you got Goro, you've got Bo Ray Cho, you've got Tremor, and you've got Tremor and then Triborg. That's 5.
Oh yeah, okay, fair point.
So technically, this game actually had. So technically, MKX had 9 DLC characters.
The whole point of this was I want to talk about the guest characters in Mortal Kombat because a lot of people were comparing how the Injustice DLC doesn't make sense and neither did the MK. But when you think about it, really think about it, the guest characters kind of did make sense because what do all those guests have in common?
Fight.
No, they're from violent horror movies.
We're talking about MKX.
Yeah, which get really creative with the kills they do.
Yeah.
Which makes sense for the fatality mechanics.
Which, okay, for that game in particular, I didn't mind all too much having those because with Mortal Kombat, it's not just the Mortal Kombat world. There's so much opening for, again, creativity and creative kills. Because you're actually killing people.
And that's why I didn't mind it in Mortal Kombat. Because it's like, okay, you're taking a character that's brutally violent, and you're utilizing what they can do for fatalities.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that too.
And that's why I'm fine with the guests, except Raiden in Injustice. Because it harkens back just to the fact they have comic origins. They're in a comic fighting game. It makes sense. With Hellboy and Ninja Turtles.
Which was the answer to my question from earlier. Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes a bit more sense, but still.
I mean, I get the whole disappointment. People wanted Rorschach and Constantine. I was one of those. I wanted both of them, to be honest.
I wouldn't mind both of them.
Because
I would not have mind Constantine at least because
personally, I love Rorschach, but everyone knows, I mean, not everyone, but a lot of people know who Rorschach is. I feel Constantine should have gotten a slot because not a lot of people know him, and he needs a recognition. He's a really cool character.
Well, okay. I'm going to call false on that. That not a lot of people know him because of 3 things. Justice League Dark, Arrow, and his own show, Constantine.
That's true. And then he's got his new thing coming out.
What do you think?
Yeah, CW's doing an animated series on him.
Oh.
Starting next year.
So he's got 4 things. So, by now, because he's been featured on Arrow so many times, he's got his own show. Oh, and then the Keanu Reeves version of Constantine, which technically we don't talk about because that's the equivalent of Halle Berry's Catwoman.
Oh.
Yes, I'm comparing those two.
Jeez, okay.
That'll be for another day, probably. So a lot of people at this time, though, they know Constantine because he's... At this point now, he's relatively big in the DC world. So he should have been a big choice for it. And I'm going to be honest, not a lot of people know much about The Watchmen.
That's true.
Aside from the movie that was 3 hours long, if you could sit through it.
I saw the TV version, so I got the short end. I needed to watch the full version.
I got the I didn't get it. I watched the extended. It was 3.5 hours long. Wow. I swear to God. It was 3.5 hours long.
I mean, I've seen some of the best scenes from that movie, and I love it. I need to watch the full movie, start to finish.
Yeah, it's a pretty good movie. It drags. It's a movie that drags on for a very long time, and to be honest, they give you some backstory on the characters, but you really don't get to know very much about the characters at all.
Okay.
So, obviously they give you backstory to kind of be like, oh yeah, here's kind of how they all kind of became a thing. But you really don't know each character as an individual in this movie, except for Rorschach. You know Rorschach a lot more. But he's still a very vague character because that's all he's in. Is just
and honestly,
watching.
adding Rorschach in this would have made sense because of the new comic run that DC's doing where they are crossing over. Doomsday Clock, I think it's called.
Okay, so here's a question then. If they were to add Rorschach, do you think Constantine would make a better separate character or Premier Skin?
Separate character, because keep in mind, Constantine's more magic based, and Rorschach's more I'm gonna beat you up. So,
fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. So, yeah, I mean, I understand their whole thing with the comic book setting and everything with that, but still, I feel that they had a big roster for DC characters, yes, but I still feel like they needed more DC characters.
Yeah, no, this game definitely did, and
it's still a great game. Don't get me wrong, I still love this game.
I defend the Ninja Turtles, But at the same time, I also would have rather seen a DC character come in.
Agreed.
Like, I love the characters. They're great. And I don't think they deserve as much hate as they're getting right now. Because right now people are starting to send death threats to NetherRealms over this. And it's like, okay, maybe you're disappointed, but you don't need to go that far.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Okay, so that's it for the trailers. If you guys have anything to comment or whatever, or any questions, whatever, definitely ask us. I do want to do a quick discussion with you. So if you had to choose, because obviously all the DC characters are going to be staying in this game. Mm-hmm. I'll make the exception of, well, actually I won't make any exceptions. Given the choice from the Ninja Turtles and Hellboy and Raiden, because Sub-Zero is is completely fine in that game. So Raiden, the Turtles, and Hellboy. If you would prefer to see any other three characters, and this is a question for you guys too, if you could prefer to see any other three characters that were DC, which characters would you actually like to have seen?
I would definitely replace Raiden with someone.
Well, I mean, you're good. Okay,
Am I replacing all three?
Yeah, you're replacing all three. Of them.
Okay.
So, like, say, because obviously those three were kind of the characters that people weren't too thrilled upon.
Yeah.
So, if you could replace them with any DC characters, who would you choose?
Okay. Well, Constantine for sure, because I like him.
Okay.
I want Vixen to be her own character.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Can we talk about that?
Let's talk about. In the words of Good Myth, Good Morning. Let's talk about that. Vixen was a premier skin added to Cheetah.
That was a mistake.
Cheetah is a completely different character from Vixen, and Vixen has a totem that gives her animal-like powers.
I mean, I get why they did
any
it.
animal.
But when Vixen has so many options for her own character, why put her as a premier skin?
I think that if they did Vixen as a character, they should have done something similar to what they did with Wonder Woman and her character power, where you push O and it gives you that random ability of like boosted shield, boosted rope. So when you push her character power, or O or B or whatever system you have, when you push her character power, it gives you a different character, like a different animal. So like Cheetah to make her faster with her attacks, or like a bear to make her stronger with her attacks, or
hell, the bear could give her armor. I feel like that would make sense.
Yeah, give her make her be able to like take more damage. Yeah. Okay, then like a freaking gorilla then for strength, and then have like an eagle to help like to fly kind of thing. Because there's some characters that like can hover like Supergirl and Black Manta, kind of like that. Because there's so much that they could do with Vixen, and they just limited her too much to Cheetah. And so I feel like,
and honestly, I like Vixen as a character. She's a badass.
Yeah, after like I haven't seen the animated thing that they have. I've seen her on Legends of Tomorrow seasons 2 and 3 now, and I didn't really know much about Vixen. I knew that she was pretty cool, but after watching that stuff and even watching her in season 4 of Arrow, I think so. You see a lot more about her. She's a badass. She really is. And so having her get a lot better. Her skin. Yeah. Someone eliminating so much of her potential. Just to have skin. Yeah. And I mean, that was just because they have like Mr. Free, Capsule, perfect. Yeah, Zara, Superman, Flash, Girl, John Stewart. Vixen, obviously. Is that it? Yo, they should have done a Nightwing skin for Robin. I mean. Oh wait, we actually then we could decide because the staff of Grayson, which is a whole separate character power thing. Yeah.
And plus, so right now the new shaders that came out, can technically just look like Nightwing. So yeah.
The more you know. Alright, so back to the original question.
I knew this wasn't going to happen. I had a small thought this could be the surprise character. I want Batman Beyond, like Terry McGinnis. It was own place. I know it wasn't. And
that would have been awesome, but it wasn't going to happen because they put the skin on.
But it's going back to your question. That's who I would want, like Batman Beyond, as his own play style.
Okay, well then, let me re-edit the question then, because now coming to realize that. I mean, because obviously you're going to have the characters, like, you have the main characters, and there's going to be characters that are similar, aside from Vixen. Because that's not anywhere similar. So, separate characters, then, let's say.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying, because Terry McGinnis is his own separate Batman. He's got a different kind of move. He would have a different kind of moveset, because he uses more, like, weapons than Batman does. He's got a staff, he's got nunchucks, he's got little eskrima sticks.
Fair enough.
And he could swap those out and use those for combat.
Okay, well then, the
You
thing
could have
about
a
this,
flight.
wouldn't you say that he's pretty much close to Deathstroke from the first game then? If he
Yeah.
was able to do that. Okay, and you remember how broken Deathstroke was.
Well, okay, but Terry McGinnis still doesn't use guns, but...
But you remember how broken he was. And plus, you know how broken Batman is in this game.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Because they actually had to split him into... they had to split him into two characters, Robin and... Deadshot.
Yeah.
Holy... Wow, I blanked that out. So yeah, they had that going on. So that's why they split him up into two characters, because he was just too OP. And then they decided to make Batman OP. So that's probably why they've
been OP. He's just a pickup character.
Yeah, so that's probably why they would never really do Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
I'm talking like characters that you would guarantee want, like that would more than likely you'd see in the game. So we have
I said
Constantine.
Vixen.
That's what you said. Oh yeah, Vixen.
Trying to think.
I'm thinking so hard right now, dude.
This was a fan. People wanted him badly, and if they make an Injustice 3, he'll probably make it because he's getting as much demand as Red Hood got. Beast Boy.
Yes. Oh my word, Beast Boy would be. Well, Beast Boy would be awesome, but wouldn't he be similar to Vixen?
Yeah, he actually would.
Yeah. I mean, aside from the fact that he can shift his form and all that into the animals, but he'd just be very similar to Vixen at that rate.
Right.
Man, I can't think of who I would want, actually. I'm thinking...
Booster Gold would be fun.
Booster Gold would be pretty funny. I would like to see, in all sincere honesty, I would like to see General Zod come back.
That'd be
this
cool.
game. General Zod would be awesome. I would say Zatanna, but Zatanna did so bad in the first game. I would like to see Raven come back in this game for sure.
I do too.
Because she was
honestly,
a character that...
It's very unlikely, but there's a possibility we might get a Raven Premier skin for
That'd be
Enchantress.
That could work. I could see that happening, guaranteed.
Yeah.
So, but I can't think of who I would want. I mean, Vixen, kind of Beast Boy, and Constantine. Those are the three I would probably... I mean, Vixen, Constantine, probably Rorschach would be the three I'd choose, because I can't think of really anybody else that I would choose if that weren't in the first game or any of that. So, thank you guys for joining. We're going to cut the stream now. We're going to end the stream. Thank you guys for joining us on our first trailer talks. We're definitely going to be doing much more of these. Thank you for joining, as always.
Of course.
This was... I enjoyed doing the trailer talks. I hope you guys enjoyed it, listening to us kind of discuss and debate certain stuff, and listening to you guys as well. I'm going to be doing a review on Justice League. I'm going to be going to see it Thursday, going to pop it out Friday, and all that wonderful stuff. And I'll definitely keep you guys updated on everything going on. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. Check his page out. Check my page out. Huge thanks to the Injustice, the channel. I'll have the link in the description for letting us use your trailers for our video purposes. And as always, this is Pop Culture Critics signing off.